It's a city that needs little introduction, the entertainment capital of the world. 37 million tourists come to Las Vegas every year to sample the glitz, glamour and gambling. High rollers mix with holiday makers in the City of Lights, where the desert heat is rising. And the stakes are high for the riders who've travelled from across the globe to take part in the Rolex FEI World Cup Finals. The Thomas & Mack Centre, Las Vegas, Nevada is the venue for this jumping showdown. My name's Emma James. Welcome to the highlights. So who's here? Well, Marcus Aining, the defending title holder and winner in Vegas 2003. Meredith Michaels Beerbaum, #1 in the world rankings and winner here in 2005. Silver medalist in Aachen, the USA's Beezy Madden is on home ground. Christian Ahlmann, winner of the Western European League qualifying series. Beat Mandley, a finals specialist, third twice and twice a runner-up. Marcus Beerbaum is on form. Could the husband and wife team dominate? Steve Gerdau's only 24 years old. He won 2 qualifiers en route to Vegas. And Rodrigo Pessoa, 3 times winner of this title. He's here on a wildcard entry. Well, undoubtedly, one of the favourites is the defending champion, Marcus Aining.
Yeah, it was the last time I was here. I was winning in 2003 and 2005. I was third with the same horse, and this weekend with Gitania, and yeah, hopefully it goes well again this year. I think the big favourite is Meredith Michaels Beerbaum with Shutterfly. She won here 2 years ago with him, and but this year also the Americans are very strong with Beezy Madden and McLean, and yeah, they're a strong team here.
Well, we started the competition with 42 riders from 15 nations in the first challenge, Final 1, the speed class.
Let's see who takes a shot.
The course here designed by Guilherme Jorge of Brazil, 13 fences, that's 16 jumping efforts. And joining me to watch the action is Steve Hadley. First in, we have Marcus Beerbaum and Lena.
Well, thanks, Emma. Yeah, what a great way to start with Marcus Beerbaum. He's been in tremendous form. And this speed leg, no faults for poles knocked down, seconds added, and any refusal only adds to the time. You really need a horse that's going to get into the top 10 on this opening leg. Normally the winner would come from riders that are in and around about the top 10 on the opening day. Very twisting and turning, as you can see. Good surface. Gel track surface, very light poles, and a lot of jumping efforts.
Well, Marcus is our 14th rider to go. The current leader at the moment is Alois Pollmann-Schweckhorst of Germany, and his time is 66.75 seconds.
And this is looking very, very close to it. This mare really does turn on a sixpence. One fence, gallops to it and gets it. Yep, into the lead. As we thought, she is always dangerous against the clock. She's won over the very big fences, won a World Cup qualifier, and that's why. She's quick. She's accurate and she's very careful. And the man knew what he got to shoot at. Alois Pollmann-Schweckhorst was always there to be shot at, having gone fairly early. But it's not over yet.
Well, 27th in is Marcus Aining and Gitania. Marcus, 33 years old today. Will it be a birthday to remember for the German? It's his 5th World Cup Finals, and this is a 15-year-old Holsteiner mare.
Just 4 seconds added for any fence down, but you'd have a bit of a job to be competitive carrying a 4-second burden, but very often if you have an early fence down you can really blitz along and try and pick up a good placing down the line, but normally the winner, the first 3 or 4 home, would be jumping clear and very fast. Turning inside there. This is going to be very close. Oh!
Not quite close enough. He looked like he'd done it. He galloped to the last, but that just a shade behind Marcus Beerbaum and Lena. So that time of 65.58 for Marcus Ailing.
What a record this mare's got. And look at the stride he goes forward down here. She leaves her leg down in front. She gets a bit desperate. Really good behind, and didn't she try to jump that?
Well, McLean Ward and Sapphire now, and the home crowd will be looking to see this one do well today. It's his 12th World Cup Finals. He's got all the experience in the world, a gold medal from the Olympic Games in Athens, but he would dearly love to win this title here.
Well, this is a cracking mare, this Belgian bred Sapphire. She's been in tremendous form the last year. Deceptively fast. It doesn't seem to be travelling, but he turns very quick, and she's got a big stride. And of course the beauty of it is, for McLean, he knows what he's got to beat. 65.29. Marcus Beerbaum with Lena still out there in front. Even 1 or 2 got close to him, but he's still there at the moment. Gets inside there. That's a big risk and a big time saver, and he's certainly within shooting distance now. 65.29. Can he get inside this other fence at the end here? Turns in the air, gets inside. Now he's got to gallop to the last. Very tight there. 65.29. He's got him. Oh, all the way. Easy. Made it look so easy. Didn't gallop, didn't flap, didn't panic, went the shortest way, turned inside 3 or 4 fences there. That was outstanding. And didn't take a lot out of his horse for the following 2 days. Brilliant.
So a time of 63.78 for McLean Ward. Bit Mandley now on Idiot du Taux, the 37th rider of 41. We've lost one through withdrawal, so we've got 41 riders in this speed class, and Beat Mandley is 37th to go.
Beat looks up at the clock as he comes in. They've got 45 seconds from when they come in to start in their round. He was just, I think, making sure the clock was zeroed. This is an exceptionally good horse. Always had the look of a champion about him. And Beat got a tremendous record, as we said earlier on in our build-up. In 2nd and 3rd in these World Cups. So many times. Really sets his stall out throughout the year to have a real crack at winning the World Cup. Who knows? With a horse like this, it might even be his year. And this is very quick indeed. He gets inside there. This is a lot quicker than McLean Ward, quicker across the ground. Can he get the last 2 vital turns? 63.78. Oh, 4 to add. He's still quick. Look at the turn there. Now gallop to the last. Well, the time, 63.84, wasn't quite fast enough anyway, but with 4 to add, 67.71.84.
Well, that puts him into 8th place at the moment, so he should still, with any luck, be in that top 10 magic marker at the end of the first day of this competition. So 1 down, but still in a great position there, Switzerland's Beat Mandley.
You couldn't even say he was unlucky there, Emma, could he? I mean, for once this super horse was a foot down. Now, talking about super horses, what about this one?
Meredith Michaels Beerbaum and Shutterfly, quite possibly the very best horse in the world, and she, of course, is the world #1 in the rankings at the moment.
Yeah, down to riding this super horse. He's a horse with bundles of ability. He's very, very careful. He can go against the clock. He's as fast as any. This should be quick. And he's got as much jump as anything here this weekend. He really does deserve the description superstar. He's won it before, and he'd be well capable of doing it again this year. On current form, he's as good as ever.
Not looking to be burning up the course quite as fast as you might expect from Meredith.
It's these all-important turns, you see. She hasn't got inside that fence to get to this green oxer, which the leaders have. Just depends how she can gallop to the last. She'll be mindful of the fact that she's on a horse that can jump clears over the very big tracks over the next 2 days. So she won't want to blow his brains on the first day. She's got to beat 63.78, and she's not going to do that. Took an extra stride there, but still takes one out to the last, gallops to the last, 69.64.
And I think the clock actually continued running after she'd finished there.
I think it did actually.
We'll wait to see what the corrected time is for Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum, but it was slower, but it wasn't that much slower. In fact, the corrected time that I've got here, not the one on your screen, is 67.53. So that actually puts Meredith into 8th place. So a very steady round from her. She's clearly playing a tactical game on day one here. Well, some of the world's very best ruled themselves out of contention in this opening round. 3-times winner Rodrigo Pessoa had 2 down. Great Britain's Michael Whittaker had 2 refusals, so was eliminated. And the surprises kept on coming. The USA's Beezie Madden fell, which also meant elimination for her. So at the end of day one, these are the results as the arena's plunged into darkness. McLean Ward and Sapphire are out in front on 63.78. That time proving unbeatable. Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum down in 8th, but unlikely to stay there. Bit Manley with that 1 fence down in 9th place. So on to day 2 and final 2 here in Las Vegas. 36 riders on the second day here in Las Vegas, and first in for us is Edwina Alexander on Isovlas Pialotta. She's 7th in, and there are no clear rounds so far. Edwina on her World Cup Finals debut here.
Yeah, but she's no stranger to sport at the very highest level. One of the final 4 in Aachen last September.
In fact, we've got 3 of the final 4. The only one missing is Jos Lansing, who didn't quite manage to qualify for the finals here in Vegas. But Beezie Madden already out, so just Edwina and Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum still in this competition of those final 4.
Yeah, 2 ladies on 2 super horses. This is a grand little mare. She's not very big. She wouldn't be much more than 16 hands high, if that. Westphalian, German bred. She's 16 now, but you'd think she was an 8-year-old, wouldn't you, the way she looks and the way she jumps. Fairly straightforward treble combination. Wide enough oxers, as you can see. That's a big fence there. Oof, she was a good mare to jump that. My goodness, she was a yard off there, and the mare picked up and jumped it like a real one. Very skinny planks. You want to try and miss that high bit in the middle. 1 fence, and it's a big one. Good girl. 14 fences, clear all the way. That's the first clear. Inside the time, 79 seconds is the time allowed. Doesn't seem too tight. She was taking a lot of pulls and still had plenty of time, so that's not going to be a factor. But obviously, the fences will be. It's a big track, take a lot of jumping, but a lot of very good horses to come.
Well, next in we have Julianne Melchior. She is our 11th rider in this competition, and she's currently in 26th place after yesterday's speed class here with Grand Dame Z. She's 20 years old, and another one making her debut, and she is the youngest rider in the competition this year.
Yeah, quite right, and also another one making her debut on a German-bred mare. This one's an Oldenburger Grand Dame. Used to be ridden by Jan Tops at the very highest level. And she's 16 now. The years go by so quickly. But been a very good mare for a very long time, and what a schoolmaster for a youngster like Julian Melchior. Father, who owns and runs the Zangerside stud in Belgium. Had so many top-class horses, so many top-class riders riding for him, Leon Melchior. But give credit where it's due, although this young lady has obviously had access to so many good horses, and this one in particular, you've still got to be able to ride them, and she can. For 20 years of age and with a lot of pressure on her. She's very stylish, very accurate, and very focused. Not much room in this arena. Very tight, unusual shape. Just the one fence. Oh, that's unlucky. Well inside the time, just, well, a bit unlucky, just a little bit of a rub in front. This girl does adore her horses, you know, she's just had a fence down. She must be disappointed about not getting through to the jump off. But big hug and a kiss. Thinks the world of that mare, and you would, wouldn't you? Because that is a real lovely mare and a superstar in ability terms.
In fact, we've only had a couple of people jump that final fence clear. Obviously, Edwina Alexander, one of them, but that really proving to be something of a bogey fence in this competition. Well, Tony Andre Hansen now for Norway on Camero, another making his debut. He's 28 years old, and this is a 10-year-old Holsteiner gelding.
And also been a part of 14 Nations Cup efforts for his home country of Norway.
Lovely horse, this grey horse. Another German, a Holsteiner. Only 10-year-old. As his colour suggests, you know, these grey horses very often start off very dark in colour and get gradually whiter as they get older. Normally start to lose the darker hairs in the coat when they're 8 or 9, and normally quite white when they're about 13 or 14. So, as you can see, he's about halfway through. He's a great big powerful horse, but although he's got plenty of jump, he's very careful. And this lad is improving and improving every time we see him. They tell me he's quite a talented pop singer, Emma. Have you ever seen him performing?
Indeed he is. No, I haven't quite seen that, but hopefully I will do one day. Just getting a little ragged through there and took the second element of the double out.
Straight over the high part of the planks. Well, he couldn't say he was unlucky there.
And that's a shame.
It jumps the bogey last fence.
I almost wonder whether that was a little bit of nerves creeping in the further he got going clear, whether he got more and more tense. And
just a bit anxious probably, but I think the horse didn't help him an awful lot at the last couple of fences. There's a lot of efforts in here, in this course. They've got to leave the ground an awful lot of times. You know, there's 17 efforts, and they're entitled to be getting a little bit tired towards the finish, especially a big plainish horse like Camero. But from a plainish horse to a quality little mare, this tremendous Swedish warm blood mare, Butterfly Flip, and Malin Bayard Johnson.
well, she got here by the skin of her teeth. She was 1 point below the qualifying point, but with some withdrawals she managed to book her place here in Vegas as one of the substitute riders. And she looks to be making the most of her opportunity.
Yeah, Butterfly Flip, another one that's getting on in years now. I know I'm a fine one to talk, but she's 16, which is very old in horse terms. But if they stay sound and retain their enthusiasm, they've got all the experience in the world, and they've been there and done it before.
Well, this is a mare who at times has looked like she's lost a little of her enthusiasm for the job, but she's well back on form today. Really concentrating on the job.
You're right there, Emma. She hasn't just been herself the last 12 months, has she? You know, we've seen her in a few World Cup qualifiers when she hasn't exactly shone, but this is looking good. Oh! Somebody was bound to hit that plank in the middle sooner or later.
But clears the last.
Jumps the last.
So just 4 faults for Marlin Barrier-Johnson and Butterfly Flip.
Taking a bit of jumping, isn't it? Just one clear so far.
It is a big course and plenty of twists and turns in there.
Exactly, there's a lot of places you can have a fence in there, isn't there? A lot of poles out there saying, come and get me.
Margie Engel now and Hidden Creek's Cuervo Gold, and the crowd will go wild for this one if she does well. A very popular American rider with more than 100 Grand Prix wins to her name.
Yeah, Margie's been around a long time now and got a great record on the national circuit in the States. We don't often see her on teams, but when we do, she always makes her presence felt. This is a good horse, Cuervo Gold, Belgian, warm blood, and 13-year-old, actually by Juste Pomme, that very good stallion that Ulrich Kirchhoff won an Olympic gold medal on a couple of Olympics back, and then tragically died within the following year, which was a huge blow to him. Never really been heard of since, just when he'd got a horse capable of winning at the very top level, to lose it is a tremendous blow. Chestnut horse, he was Juste Pomme, like this fella. Oof, that was a bit unlucky, a bit lucky rather, she was very, very deep to that. Very related distance, that stride round the corner from that orange oxer to that skinny little gate. Now takes a pull, sets him up, just the planks and the last. Oxer, now the last vertical, 1 to go, the crowd really getting with it, and she's clear. We've got a jump off. Again, well inside the time. That's a popular clear round, as you said, Emma.
Absolutely. This
Great.
Crowd here, extremely enthusiastic, almost a little bit too enthusiastic at times. You do wonder how the horses can keep their concentration in this arena, but Hidden Creek's Cuervo Gold did just that, and Margie Engel finishes with a clear round. Well, that's 2 clear rounds through to our jump-off. We're over halfway through. Herco Schroeder in next. He's the 21st of 36 riders to go in this round on Eurocommerce Milano. Now, this pair started the season brilliantly with a second in Helsinki and a win in Verona, but the tail end of their season wasn't so good. No points at all from their last 6 outings on the World Cup circuit, so it'll be interesting to see what he can pull out of the bag here in Las Vegas. And that's another one of our bogey fences, that fence 4 off the tight corner that if they don't get sight of, they're taking that top rail with them.
Quite right, Emma, but he was also a bit close, wasn't he? He really, asked the question there unnecessarily. Didn't give the horse really space enough. Unusual for Gurcho because he's so accurate. He'd be one of my favourite riders at the moment. I think he's a tremendous little horseman. He's not very big. And then neither is Marcus Eining, come to that. And he's very, very capable. And he's got some good horses.
He was wonderful to watch in Aachen last summer with Eurocommerce Berlin. Absolutely stunning.
The grey horse, yeah. That really does take some jumping, doesn't it?
It does, and it's straight towards the finish. You've got the curtain behind, so the horses know they're heading for the exit. It's a big, full up to height, 1.60 metre vertical, and just the littlest tap can take that off. And he's taken both the bogey fences down on this course, 4 and 14 the last. So Herco Schroeder finishes with 8 faults. Daniel Durser now at Air Jordan Z, 25 years old, another making his World Cup Finals debut. And this stallion is by Argentinus, the same sire as Arco, the great horse ridden by Nick Skelton, who we haven't seen for a while, but hopefully will be back on the circuit this year.
.11 years old, and the horse. There's no doubt about it. I mean, those two verticals are taking an awful lot of jumping, but they're both bolt upright, no ground lines, and both 160, which is the maximum height you can build at international level in a first round. 160, 5'3", and a 5'3" vertical or oxo in this small arena with these light poles and not longer poles either. You see that treble combination. The poles there wouldn't be your normal length that you'd see at places like Olympia or Hickstead or a lot of other World Cup qualifiers. They've compensated for the narrowness of the arena by having probably about 10-foot poles instead of 12-foot in lots of cases. Makes the fences more difficult to jump, makes them look higher. Water tray under that second last, and he jumps that smashing. Just that one unfortunate mistake.
So that's 22 riders gone, and still only the 2 clear rounds on this, the second day of the Rolex FEI World Cup Finals. Daniel Durser finishes with 4 faults. So getting to the tail end of the opening round of this final 2, of course heading for the jump-off next. But before that, we've got another 13 riders to go. Skylar Riley for the USA, and Ilian is next in. And this is the oldest horse in the competition at 17 years of age.
Dutch bred by Zuidholm.
Has a look of a horse that's been there and seen it all and done it all.
Yep.
Which is probably just as well in an arena like this one.
Got the t-shirt.
It's a very spooky arena because the crowds really bank up very steeply so that the horses, if they do look up, are looking up at a wall of people.
It's an old horse's ring, isn't it, really, and an old horse's course, because there's a lot of places here that they've got to make maximum effort and be very accurate and use all the experience they've got to jump these fences, because every time you turn a corner there's a sucking great fence in front of you, like that one. Look at the lift you need on that, a big vertical. Round the corner again, very tight to this treble combination, which is short and short again. Got to keep them really upright round the corners, like she did there. You see, you've only got 4 strides from that corner to jump an enormous oxer. 5 strides related round the corner to a very skinny gate, hung off the ground. This girl is giving this horse a beautiful ride. Keeping him perfectly balanced, keeping him upright. Look how she used that corner. Sits and waits for him to come up. Just 2 fences. Now this dodgy vertical to finish. And jumps it. Just not far inside the time, 79 seconds, comfortable enough. That was a cracking round.
Well, that gives us 3 clear rounds through to the jump-off so far. Of course, many of the best riders still to come here in Las Vegas. And that will be one to remember for Skylar Riley. She looks very pleased indeed.
Chuffed would be the word, I think.
I think so.
And why not? That was a peach of a round, wasn't it?
Well, now Switzerland's Beat Manley and Idio Duto, they have to be one of the favourites here. He's been second twice, as we've already said, in the finals, and third twice. Surely he can't remain bridesmaid to somebody else's bride forevermore. Beat Manley and Idio Duto.
You know, and he's built a tremendous team of horses over the last 3 or 4 years, has Beat. He's always had one good enough to come to the World Cup World Cup final, rather. And he's, as you say, he's been so close to winning it so many times. But this would arguably be his best chance ever, because this is the best horse. He'll say that himself, the best he's ever had. A real acrobat of a horse.
11 years old, so plenty of jumping left in him as well, so a great future ahead for this horse.
French-bred horse. You know, and the thing with Beat as well, he wouldn't abuse horses. He'd bring them along steadily. And although he's 11, he'd be more like a 9 or 10-year-old. But he's more likely to last till he's 16 or 17. The way he would ride them and place them and save them from hardship. And the way this horse really leaves the ground, he's so sharp. Watch him at these planks. Oof. Shoulders really come up. 2 fences. 3 clear so far. Come on, Beat. Up. Good man.
And
That's
that makes
4.
it 4.
Yeah.
It was absolutely textbook. Looked like a little schooling round over tiny fences at home. Made it look very, very easy.
He made
indeed.
it look 140, didn't he? And it's near enough 160 all the way around. Maximum height.
5 there out on the good list. On her last visit to Las Vegas, she was a winner of our...
Well, the one many are waiting for here, Meredith Michaels, Beerbaum and Shutterfly. Very popular here, of course, because although she rides for Germany now, she was born just down the road in California, so many friends and family here to support her.
Shutterfly, a 14-year-old Hanoverian gelding, owned by the Octavia Farms and Meredith Michaels Beerbaum.
What a joy this horse is to watch. He's one of those horses you can just sit here. I don't think a round of his doesn't need commentary. You want to just shut up and just enjoy watching it, because he's such an artist. Some acrobat, isn't he?
There can't be many horses in the world that could have left that one up.
She buried him there. No 2 ways about that. Oh, it's called class. It's going to take a very good horse to beat this one this week, I tell you. Just this last. Good. That's another one. Oh, she says heart was in her mouth there. She knows she made a grave mistake towards the finish there at that Oxer. How he jumped it, as you say, Emma, is hard to fathom. But he made it. He knew exactly what he'd got to do. Got his legs out of the way, and he had the ability to do it.
Well, another 3 clears here. Marco Kutscher, Steve Gerda and Leopold van Asten in round 1. But fence 14, that final fence, proved very influential in this, with a third of the riders knocking it down, alongside Julian Melchior, Alois Pullman, Schweckhorst, Kate Levy and Rennie Tebble all failed at the final hurdle. And the top-placed 3 riders each picked up 4 faults, throwing the competition wide open. Marcus Aining, Marcus Beerbaum and McLean Ward, each with a single mistake. So here is the jump-off board. Edwina Alexander, the pathfinder in this jump-off. Meredith Michaels, Beerbaum down in 6th, will be very fast and hard to beat, and Steve Gerda the last to go. Well, first for us to see is Marco Kutscher with cash. The current leader is Edwina Alexander. She had 1 fence down, so 4 faults for her, and a time of 32.15. Margie Engel and Skylar Riley both had 2 down. So just 5 to go. The competition is hotting up.
A bit of everything in this jump-off. jump fence 1 and then right back to fence 7, which is completely coming back on yourself the other way. Who can turn the tightest to that? Then a sharp right hand down to this first and second parts of the treble combination. Back to fence 6. And then fence 2, and then an end-to-end gallop right the way to the far end, to the planks, backwards. And he's clear. It wasn't that quick. I think he's beatable, that he's left all the fences up. Sensible round at this stage of the jump off. It wouldn't look like a winning round to me, but you know, he's clear.
So Marco Kutscher, our reigning European champion, goes clear in a time of 32.01, and that puts him out into the lead, the first clear of this jump off. But of course, some great riders still to go. And one of them is Beat Mandley for Switzerland on Idiot Duteau. It's his 6th time at these World Cup Finals. 2 seconds, 2/3.
And Beat will know how fast he's got to go. He will have seen Marcus. There's a monitor, television monitor out in the collecting ring. He'll also have his advisors as to where he's got to turn at this fence. That was outstanding. This horse is so quick in front with his front legs. He can afford to do that at a vertical. And he can also afford to let him travel as well to get across an oxer like that. 32.01, just these planks and he's galloping for it. Surely got him. Oh, easy. Over a second. He surely won that, the second fence, when he really turned back to that fence 7 backwards. That was super.
Well, another great round from Beat Mandley and Idiot Duteau, a time of 30.89. Just 3 riders left to go. Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum is in next.
I think this competition, Emma, is beginning to revolve around 2 absolutely outstanding horses. The one we've just seen, Beat Mandley's, and this one. I think it would be very, very long odds against this competition being won by anything else other than these 2. I know that's sticking my neck out, but they are just head and shoulders above the rest at the moment, aren't they, on their performances. She's just a little bit further around the corner there than Beat. Now 30.89. Oh, takes a flyer there. She surely got him. Only got to jump it. Leaves it up. 29.38. Got him.
1.5 seconds. That is incredible.
That? Incredible, isn't it? But he's an incredible horse. He's one of the best I've ever seen. There's no 2 ways about that.
Leopold van Asten now has to follow that. What a job. VDL Group, Flesh Rouge, his horse. And is he going to be going all out to try to beat that amazing round and a time of 29.38?
Setting off quick, isn't he?
He means business.
Yeah, tripped a little bit round the corner there as well. All over now. Shutterfly reigns supreme at the moment. Will he stay there? There's not many rides in the field you choose above him, is there?
No, indeed. And the only rider left in this jump-off class that can challenge them is Steve Gerda and Trezor. Well, disappointing for Leopold van Asten there. 4 faults and a fast time, not quite fast enough to beat Meredith though. And there's only one person left who can give that a go, and that is Steve Gerda of Switzerland. A time of 30.57. He was over a second slower than Meredith Michaels-Beerbaum. And here is Steve Gerda for Switzerland and the 11-year-old Belgian stallion Trezor. Steve, of course, won Vigo and Geneva, the World Cup qualifiers there. On Jaliska Solier, his other horse, he chose not to bring her here, feeling she was too young and inexperienced to cope with the rigours of this 3-day competition.
Yeah, it's certainly, as I said earlier on, Emma, an old horses competition, isn't it, really? Experience counts for a lot, especially over 3 legs. Well, you've got to be consistent over 3 days, because you can't afford one major blip in any leg here, because you won't win it or even be in the shake-up. Oh! Cheeky. This is quick. Can he keep it up? 29.38, Shutterfly. Tight angle there. Oh, that's gone. Now he slows up. He needs to leave this up. He couldn't afford 2 down.
Well, a time of 29.76, that's half a second slower than the winner of this stage of the Rolex FEI World Cup Finals, Meredith Michaels Beerbaum and Shutterfly, in a time of 29.38. It's a bit of disappointment there for Steve Gerda, but of course still 2 more rounds of this final competition to go. Well, there's confirmation of the result on this second day of the Rolex FEI World Cup Jumping Finals, and what a competition it was. And that leaves the standings as we go into the final day of competition with Meredith Michaels Beerbaum and Steve Gerda jointly in the lead. Well, going into this competition, Meredith was certainly one of the favourites, and now she's out in front.
I'm ecstatic with Shutterfly. He jumped amazing yesterday already. I had a bit of a conservative round yesterday, and I ended up only in 8th place. But today I found my way back up to the top, and Shutterfly's in great form, and I feel really good and confident. It does crank up the pressure, but this is where I want to be, and I fought to get here today after a conservative start. But the pressure is always there, especially coming back here as the winner in 2005. There's never no pressure, so it's what it's like at the top.
So he's still in contention. Well, Christian Ahlmann is currently in 10th place after a great season. Marcus Aining, the reigning title holder, can he do it again? Beat Manley currently poised in 3rd place. Can he make it to the top? Meredith Michaels Beerbaum, joint leader at the end of day 2. And out in front with her is Switzerland's Steve Gerda. So final 3, round 1, the final phase of the Rolex FEI World Cup Finals. We've got 13 fences, that's 16 jumping efforts and a time allowed of 75 seconds. And the course designed again by Guillermo Jorge. Well, first in is America's Richard Spooner on Cristallo. 28 riders to go in this first round. The top 20 will go through to the second, and both courses will be just purely tested on jumping ability alone. There's nothing against the clock, no jump off as such. That speed test has already taken place, so now it's all about leaving those fences standing, and they're big. Well, the scoring system at these Rolex FEI World Cup Finals are somewhat tricky, but I'll do my best to explain it to you. Basically, over the first 2 days, they've accumulated points. The ones with the highest points, in this case, Steve Gerda and Meredith Michaels Beerbaum, those points are converted then to 0. And the person in second place gets 1 point, and so on and so forth. And that leaves it very, very close for this final day. So the top riders just within a point of each other. And then the faults that they get from these rounds will be added on. So Richard Spooner starts this round with 21 points, and he's got 12 faults to add. So if he leaves the rest standing, that'll give him a total of 33, which puts him way out of the reckoning, sadly, for Mr. Spooner. But it does stay at just the 3 down, so 12 faults for Richard Spooner. That gives him 33, a score of 33 at the end of the first part of final 3. And that will leave him way out of the reckoning.
That double of gates there is very short indeed.
Well, next in, John Pearce and Archie Bunker for Canada. 10-year-old Belgian, horse by Darko, the very famous stallion ridden by Ludo Philipparts. It's his 3rd time at the World Cup Finals, and he is our 6th rider to go out of 28.
You can see again how very close he was to that second part of those double of gates. They're very, very short indeed. Most unusual wall there, 3 big portholes in it. And again, because of the geography of the arena, very narrow at one end, very narrow all the way through actually. We're always on the turn, which is a big disadvantage to a great big ponderous horse like this one. I mean, he's a huge horse, and John Pearce doing a very good job to steer him round. And he's getting a lot of encouragement from the crowd, which I don't think is helping him really. It's got to be a distraction. Doesn't seem to faze this old boy, but it can do. A lot of horses, when they hear applause, they think they're finished and can tend to pull themselves up. But he's clear.
And that's our first clear round of this final round one of it, of course. A second round to go, not against the clock. All that's important here is leaving those fences up. So no faults to add to his score of 18.